Hello everyone! What's
going on, people? Welcome back.
Live.
Laymen Live is still here. We took a week off last week and then Sam forgot to tell anyone, and so everyone's like, oh.
Did we not tell anyone?
Yeah, you didn't tell anyone. We took a break. So we took a week off. Or when I say we, I mean Sam. He, where'd you go anyway?
I was 3 hours down the coast of Sydney.
Down the coast, mate, down the coast.
In some country town. No, it was nice though. I got away with my girlfriend, okay? It was nice.
A poor woman.
They're like, oh, a girlfriend? Really? Oh, okay. Well, I thought
damn.
Different. I thought different.
I can't believe you strung all our viewers along. All our tier 3 subs, Sam. They're all hanging out just thinking that you don't have a girlfriend. But now they're going to be so bummed out.
I thought I'd let you know.
How dare you?
I had a good time. I feel refreshed. And then we're back now to do some more Laymen. It's number Laymen. No, we're not doing that joke anymore. Okay. Alright? We're not doing that. We've done that joke like 69 times. We're not doing that anymore.
We have.
Okay.
So other than your time off, Sam, what have you been doing?
Playing heaps of games.
No, you haven't, don't lie.
Okay, heaps of games. Well, actually, we did play a few games this week. We played Avengers, of course. We played... no, we played Lego Avengers last week, sorry. We played Lego Avengers last week. Played Overwatch, but Smash as usual. I played other games too, but anyway, look, I don't want to focus on that too much, you know what I mean? Like, let's talk about other things.
Sure.
What games have you played, Ralph? Apart from Avengers.
Okay, so the last few weeks, I played Wasteland 3. I think that was absolutely fantastic. If you haven't played it and you really like RPGs,
Tony Hawk. I played Tony Hawk this week too.
Oh, did you? When?
Yes. I just did the demo.
Oh, okay, right, sure. Yeah, so play Wasteland. If you're a big fan of RPGs, I really recommend it. Like serious RPGs, you know what I mean? It's a CRPG. It's that classic like isometric perspective. Having said that, it is really, really fantastic when you get past. Jesus Christ! I hate passwords. Just gave us $300. Holy shit!
Are you sure that wasn't $30?
Are you sure that was a mistake? My contribution to your 3090 fund.
Wow.
Oh my god, thank you very much. That's too generous, dude.
That's very nice.
I don't really know what to say, but yes, thank you.
It's freedom dollars? I think that's freedom
dollars. So that's really
that's very nice. Thank you very much.
Like 3,000 Australian dollars, really. So look, I had passwords. Thank you very much, friend. That's way too generous.
That is very nice.
And it will go towards cheaper use. We'll come back to that story later because Australia's getting burned on that one. But anyway.
Wow. So where do we go from there? So
we go back to Wasteland, which I recommend. I played through this game called BPM. BPM is amazing.
We're going to do that next week.
We're going to do that next week.
Yes.
I actually got sent a final build for that review code. Playing through it, the review code is even better than I was playing in the preview. I'm just like, can't believe how much I love this game. It's good. So anyway, we'll talk more about that. It's a rhythm-based shooter. It's like, imagine Doom, but to the beat. It's Doom the musical, okay?
Doom the musical.
It's very good.
There could be a Doom musical. I'd watch that.
And then I am also playing through the Avengers. And
we have a review of that coming out on Monday.
Yeah.
Do you think you're going to make Monday?
No, I don't think so. I think I'll be in a position to review the campaign by then, but I want to spend some time with the end game.
Yeah.
So.
I think we'll do at least a campaign. We'll do at least a campaign. We'll do at least a review of the campaign on Monday, guys.
What are your high-level thoughts on Avengers, Sam? She's like, no, I don't want to spoil it. I don't want to spoil it.
The TV's going to turn off soon for some reason. I don't want to spoil it. Every view counts. No. Okay. So I think we could talk about it. Given the donation, we'll talk a little bit about it.
Given the donation. Okay. So it's like, you paid us enough money, so we'll talk about it. Wow. That's just EA right here, guys. Right sitting next to me on the couch.
Okay, ruin everything. Okay, so I think it's okay. Well,
here we go.
The actual technical part of it is atrocious. Just to give you a little bit of an insight. So I have two things into my computer: my headphones and also desktop speakers. The cinematics would sometimes play through the headphones, and then the gameplay would play through the desktop speakers.
What?
I don't know. I've never seen that ever in my entire life of gaming.
That's crazy. I've never heard of that.
Especially in the beginning. It didn't happen as I went on, but you know, at the very beginning when you play as all the characters, that was happening a lot.
Okay, right.
And another thing is the control support, non-existent on my computer. I've tried 3 different controllers, played Fall Guys with controllers on my PC. It is just not working. I don't know why. It's buggy as hell, and it works on this computer. Yep. So I'm just having and frame drops, of course, but not as bad as this. Not as bad.
This is
but still bad.
Actually, the worst game I've ever played. from a like PC optimization perspective.
I mean, would you say
never played
worse
Batman.
than Fallout 76?
Yeah, no question,
I mean,
no question.
That's a big call.
The footage that I have for this game is astounding. I playing through this.
When you
campaign,
sent me that Captain stretching
I got a
thing?
good clip. Don't worry, I
man.
got some stuff for the review.
That looked like, you know when they show those news anchors like blinking sideways, they're like, oh my god, he's an alien.
Yeah.
That's that moment. You guys will see it in the review.
Yeah. So the technical state of this is horrendous. Like I cannot believe it took me so long to play through this campaign because I was just fighting against all the technical issues. Look, it's pretty fun. As in, like the campaign's got a cool story.
It has heart, and I think
they put a lot of effort into the story and the characters. I really do.
And I really like Kamala Khan.
I think she's good. I really disliked her at first. I did.
I thought that they were just going down a route of introducing people into the Avengers world when we just wanted to play Avengers. Do you know what I mean? And I thought that's risky territory to be on.
Yeah.
Then I played Kamala. I'm like, this is exactly what this needed. This needed like Metal Gear Solid 2 where, Snake's being all like deified. You need someone on the sidelines to really like love the Avengers kind of thing. And that's what Kamala does so well in this game.
Sure. And
I've really appreciated playing her actually. And I thought that this was going to bomb because of it, but this is probably one of its major strengths.
Oh, 100%.
Like legitimately.
It is probably the biggest strength,
yeah.
So yeah, I mean, and everything else though that I saw in the beta is the same. Like the technical state is horrendous. The microtransactions are fucking garbage. It's like mobile prices in a premium game on day one.
I can't believe it.
Unbelievable. Like $20 for a skin when you've already paid $120 for the game. Like ridiculous.
Like I've seen that before with other games. Like I remember we got Forza Ultimate Edition to review or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And like when you get the top one, there's so much already in it. With this one, I feel like you've paid the top one, and it's like, how much more was there? Not much, man.
Yeah.
And number two, like maybe you played it for another an extra day or something, but like you've got like 2 skins per character extra while there's like another 15 or 20 other skins to unlock, if not more for each character. You just feel like you haven't got any real value out of nearly paying double for the deluxe edition. It's like it's borderline scam shit. It's like, dude, that is the worst thing I've seen in a long time in games.
Yeah. And I mean, I think as well, like combat, I have very mixed views on combat. Like I feel like sometimes it can feel pretty good, but most of the time it just feels like this really messy clusterfuck. There's just I definitely feel on balance though. There's some good things to this game, and I feel like if those click with you, you're really gonna like this. I just found it quite dull, like 80% of the time. And I just look at stuff like the technical performance and the microtransactions and the horrendous loot game. Oh, it's the worst loot game I've ever seen implemented in a loot game ever.
I've never seen a game that
so bad
is a looter brawler or whatever that has no. Like you don't see any of it, you don't care about it. It drops on the floor. You're like, okay, cool, and it's like it's just weird shit. Like you click on it and it's like Hulk, and it's like a new bone hand, or a new fucking like
spines, baby. You gotta farm those Hulk spines.
You gotta change the spine.
It needs new spines.
It's just ridiculous how they've done it. The only way they could have possibly done this, of course, is make the loot show and then just piss off the cosmetics, because then it kind of like it's a double. You're getting a reason for the loot, and then it doesn't feel so scammy with this monetization cosmetic shit.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's a lot more to it. We'll get to it on Monday.
But like, it's
have we
mixed.
already covered it now?
I've covered a lot of it. I've definitely got more to say. But like, it's very mixed. You know what I mean? Like, again, if anyone's looking for the whole like this game totally sucks. No, I don't agree with that. If you were looking for like, actually, you were wrong. It was amazing, and everything you said about the beta was wrong. No, that's not right either. Like, it's definitely. I think it's definitely somewhere in the middle of that, but way more tilted towards this is a disappointment end.
I think it depends on what you're looking for. If you're really looking for a story-driven game, you don't care about combat, you don't care about this monetization crap, you're never going to dabble in it, and you're not going to play a lot of multiplayer or whatever, like, you probably will enjoy this game.
It's a really good $20 game. Like, when it goes down to $20, it's really good for that, I think. Yeah. But at the moment, with all the garbage and the full price and the this and that, I'm like, no. Anyway.
And this is last thing I say, this is competing, of course, with Spider-Man in terms of it came out, 2 years ago.
I would say competing.
Well, in terms of, the latest superhero game.
Sure.
And of course, we are going to see Spider-Man in this game, so it's going to be interesting to see what the combat system of that is like, because we have it on Steam, we don't have it on PlayStation. But, that was such a brilliant game, combat-wise, story-wise, cinematically. Like, it was like almost like an Avengers movie in a game, how big those moments were. Or a Spider-Man game, I should say.
Or a Spider-Man movie.
Or a Spider-Man movie. I should say that, probably. Right? And that was so brilliantly done. So, of course, I am very much comparing that to my experience with Spider-Man.
Sure.
Anyway, we'll get back to that.
We will. Let's
after
do
the
some
break.
super chats first before we get into some news. Old Guy Gaming says, Sam, this is so you can play The Witcher 3. Please don't spend it on Avengers cosmetics. Stay well, guys.
Thank you.
$15. Thank you, friend. Marky Mint's back. Welcome back, friend. We appreciate you. Then the ridiculous donation from I Hate Passwords.
Thank you very much, dude.
Cezenio is here. We missed you. Happy to see you again on episode 69, 420. I did it for you, Sam.
Good.
Steve Caldwell's back. Enjoy the new channel direction, lads. Keep it a last. Thank you, friend. Appreciate that a lot.
I do miss talking about games, though.
I definitely.
I miss a little bit of that.
You got any more of that clickbait, man?
We're gonna find an equilibrium, I think.
We will.
Okay.
Joe Evil says Laymen Gaming now with microtransactions. Thanks, Sam. That was you. Horizontal Vertigo says for $20, I'm simping for Holo Live, so I'd best simp for my lads. Have some ciders on me, love from lockdown. I don't know what Holo Live is.
Layman Live. He's simping for Layman Live.
David
That's
Nichols, Cuck Robot to the rescue. There we go, good old Cuck Robot.
So funny that moment.
Ban Jerry was looking for a new game to start this week. Saw your review of Nier Automata and finished it today. I'm late as hell, but still in tears. Dude, Nier Automata is the best game ever. Sam will never play it though, because he does not play video games.
Look.
He only plays Overwatch and Smash. That's
I've watched
it.
a lot of footage of 2B. Is it B2 or 2B? Which one is it?
On that hub site, right?
yeah. That streaming platform.
That's right. Francois back as well says, hey guys, happy to see you again. Nice to see Sam had some rest with his pillow waifu. Are you guys going to critique movies and series again?
I would like to do that.
Wouldn't mind checking out Tenet. Sam's already seen Tenet.
I would see it again.
I haven't seen Tenet.
I would see it again.
So maybe we should do that.
I don't know if it's out in the States yet. I think
It is.
It came out in Australia first.
I think it is out in the States, but I just think it's like most cinemas aren't open in the States. I think that's the problem. Cool. Anyway, guys, let's get to some news. First of all, a good news story. Madden NFL is the lowest rated user score game in the history of this website.
This is pretty crazy because I haven't played a Madden since like legitimately 10 years old.
2001.
Like legitimately, I don't think we've played a Madden in a long time.
No, I actually think it was 2001.
I just don't care about sport games, right?
Yeah.
Sports games, but I do not especially like games that are made by EA. Okay, now they've yet again kicked it out of the park in terms of just disappointing the audience. And here it is, 3.3. What was Fallout 76?
No, that was like 3.
Was that did pretty well then?
That was a 3.
That did pretty well.
We were the world's first.
Or was it Metal Gear Survive that did even worse?
No, I don't remember, to be honest.
Anyway, I know that there's one under Fallout 76, of course, but that is terrible.
0.3. Basically, most of the reviews point to really bad technical performance. They point to no real innovations. Just kind of like a phoned-in new version of the game when people are crying out for lots of changes and fixes and improvements and whatever else. Obviously, the user score is going to use a score. That's how they do. There's no sort of like midway points where that's either a 10 or a 0. And in this case, there's a lot of zeros. So there you go. But guys, as a result, EA has really listened to this, and they've learned their lesson. They felt the pain that comes with this kind of fan backlash. Because you can't piss off your fans like this and get away with it.
No,
but that's the point,
absolutely
right?
not.
If you do this, it's really going to hit your bottom line, and that's why Madden is actually growing in success, and this year has had its like a 10% increase or 20% increase year on year in terms of sales.
17.
So EA really learnt their lesson this time around.
Big time. More than 17 million games played in the new mode, The Yard, right? So this is good old Tom. It's probably, everyone just wants to play
Unit
as
sales
Tom Brady.
Nearly up nearly 20% year over year.
I think
as
what
a
it
result
is,
of this fan backlash.
we're forgetting that this has now recently come out on PC. Remember, it was only on consoles. So it's now come back to PC. So maybe
How many PC gamers are playing Madden? I don't know, man.
I mean, look, it's an easier way to stream the game, but like in terms of having to like plug in Elgatos and shit, I don't know. That's a huge audience, you see. The Twitch community is making up a hell of a lot of these
4
sales.
Madden streamers.
No, but okay. But I do think that because it's on Steam or wherever, it is on Steam too, isn't it?
I don't think it would be. Maybe it is, but I know it would be on Origin.
EA ported most of their
yeah.
IP to Steam, right?
Yeah.
So let's just say it's on Steam. There's so many people now that are going to now, that don't have consoles, that will now jump back on Madden. So that may be where some of those sales have come from.
I feel like it's the fact that like sports has not been a thing in America for this year. And people are just sort of like so hankering for any kind of sports engagement because like so many things are getting cancelled.
Well, I mean,
everyone's in isolation, so they're spending more money on video games. It kind of makes sense from that perspective. But
I would only agree with that if we also saw FIFA, if we also saw NHL, like
I don't think
everything
FIFA's been
go
released
up.
yet. I think FIFA comes out like September, October this year. I could be wrong about that because I don't pay attention to it, but I think it is.
Maybe.
Regardless, this is why sports gamers can't have nice things because they still buy it no matter what. Do you know what I mean? This is it. That's why I have no hope for any sports franchise ever improving ever. Like I just have zero hope.
CD Projekt Red, bring out a sports game. Alright, call it like The Witcher Plays Football.
Yeah, right.
That's a great name.
A great name, Sam.
The Witcher Plays Football.
You really thought that one through, buddy. That was a really.
Or he plays polo. He plays polo with Roach.
That would actually be.
That
pretty
would
good.
be fantastic.
That would be pretty good.
Speaking of good stuff, though.
Go on.
Okay, good stuff.
Go
now,
on, Sam.
I've only played literally about 15 minutes of this game, but High Level Thoughts is fantastic. Okay, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1
That's
and
about
2.
5 minutes more than Sam usually plays in most games, so that's good.
I hung in there, guys.
right.
Now, it's gone, as you can see now, the Metacritic score is really, really solid. Now, if you go down and actually start looking at a lot of these scores, they're all very, very positive, and I'm glad it is because, let's face it, like, this is one of the best games of late 90s, right? Late 90s or early 2000s.
Actually, I think it was
like
early 2000s. I'm pretty sure it was early 2000s.
That was the Xbox.
Maybe you're right. Maybe it was like the transition, like late 90s, early 2000s.
I think it was around that, right?
Yeah.
This is by far one of the best games on PS1. It was fantastic. Tony Hawk 1 and 2. And I'm so glad that they did really well with this and they actually made a really, really solid product. We're looking to do this on Monday
we'll play some of this week.
as a Let's Play.
Sure.
But this is probably the first Activision game that people don't have too many concerns with. Like legit.
Sekiro.
They
Call of Duty
published
Modern
it.
Warfare.
They published it, but this is...
I know what you mean. But
Activision is theirs.
Call of Duty Modern Warfare was excellent this year.
That's true too. That's true. And the Battle Royale is actually blowing up.
Warzone. Yeah. Huge.
So I completely retract my statement.
Nice. But no, it is exciting to see that, especially after Tony Hawk 5, which was so bad that Tony Hawk himself was dunking on it. Like he had some tweet where he was like, I forget what he said exactly, but he was definitely making fun of Tony Hawk 5.
It was something around. It was something in the realm of, I have no affiliation anymore with Tony Hawk Pro Skater. It was like, I don't want to be associated with this. This is not me, guys. Don't worry.
Sure. So look, it is good to see that that's happened. That it's out. It is out now. I do plan on picking it up this week after I'm done with the Avengers. Really keen to move on from the Avengers, but I really have to play through this whole endgame rhythm thing.
See, I would say that I'm maybe being biased with the Avengers in terms of gameplay, but I've played it so much now on the controller at PAX, at the demo, the beta, and also here. I've jumped now and I'm playing the whole thing with mouse and keyboard, so I'm clicking now at home the entire game, trying to fight with a mouse and keyboard. It's the most annoying thing ever. But apart from that, speaking of...
hang on.
We're gonna do this?
There's some super chats.
Okay,
there's some super chats here. Produce Debeats1 for $5 says, hey guys, you're one of my favorite channels. Why aren't we your favorite channel? Why are we one of? What's up with that, man? Like, all right, fine, one of. I get it. Thanks for being awesome. Was wondering what kind of music you like. Definitely not Sam's music.
Well,
have you heard Sam sing? It sucks.
Sam Astor is... if you've heard Steely Dan, that quality... jazz, okay? That's
if you've heard Kelsey Grammer sing,
he's very good. Mercy, he's very good.
That's a Frasier reference for you kids out there, by the way. Everyone's like, "What's that?" Froggy. I just paused The Boys season 2 for you boys. Have you started watching it?
I haven't watched The Boys.
Sam actually watched season 1. Dude, The Boys is so good. I loved The Boys so much. As soon as I started watching, I just smashed through it straight away. Man, I'm super pumped.
I should watch it.
I'm actually rewatching The Wire at the moment for like the 4th time.
Are they releasing weekly for The Boys or just one?
They're doing 3 episodes at the start and then weekly after that.
It should be always released on the Saturday, because Saturday's for The Boys. Thank you very much. Next.
Solid Crusader says, hey Lamont, since you reside in Australia, have you played Cricket 19 on PS4?
Oh man, all the time!
Wondering, since Australia,
I love that shit.
Australia are popular in cricket. Cheers, mate. We are not so much into the cricket. That's not really our thing.
Because the thing is, when you walk in to watch cricket, you come out visibly aged. That's how long cricket goes for.
That is true. That is actually true.
It's too long.
So no, we're not big fans of that one, sadly. There was one here. He says, this is Bine K. Bine? I don't know how to say your name.
I
Apologies.
think it's Bine K.
Bine says, you two plan to play Struggling. Both of you having to actually work together in a game could be hilarious. Stop the boys to watch you too. Everyone's watching the boys right now.
Now they're watching the boys. You know what I'm saying, guys?
I have not even heard of Struggling, to be honest with you, so I can't say. I'll look it up though. The one that I really want to play is Among Us, which I've heard a lot about. Have you heard this? Blowing up now. It's like this. It's like this game where you're on a ship, on like spaceship, and like one person is the saboteur, and everyone kind of needs to like find out who that person is, and shenanigans ensue. Exactly.
All right,
so
well,
we
let's
should
do
play
that.
at some
We
point.
should do
So
that.
everyone is loving that one. So
Speaking
we'll
about
check
finding
that
the
out.
mole, Nintendo's a bit of a mole. Okay?
Wow, that doesn't make any sense.
Gotcha.
It makes no sense.
You'll see where it's going. So, everyone, big exciting news. Legitimately though, very exciting. We saw a lot of leaks, or even just like things that Nintendo was actually putting out there on Twitter. A few months ago, a photo of Mario chilling on the beach.
With his nipples out.
With his nipples out and his little weird feet out. So that was the first time we saw Mario's feet. Okay.
I didn't know you pay so much attention to feet, Sam.
They're probably going to be.
Is that your thing? Is it, Sam? Is it feet?
It's probably going to be a wiki feet now, whatever it's called, right? So now that looks all very exciting. This has been This has been announced. Now we're going to see 3 games in one: Mario 64, Mario Sunshine, and Mario Galaxy, all in one nice little package called Super Mario 3D All Stars. Why 3D? Just call it All Stars. Like 3D. They're already 3D. I don't understand that.
Because it's the 3D ones.
Yeah, but there's more 3D ones that they're not doing. Anyway.
Like Galaxy 2?
Yeah, I see that, like, press out to pay respects and stuff on Twitter.
Yeah.
Anyway, all very exciting. Until you read the fine print. Okay, the fine print of this is it's actually only out for 6 months.
So stupid,
Now,
man.
I'm seeing a lot of people on Twitter say this is anti-consumer. This isn't anti-consumer. This is dumb. This is ridiculous. This is the dumbest thing I've ever seen Nintendo do, ever. It doesn't make sense.
No, it's not. It makes perfect sense. What are you talking about?
How does it make perfect sense?
Because if I was to tell you, you need to get this thing, get it now, then you'll buy it. Do you know what I mean? Like, this is it. Do you know what I mean? Like, this is the whole point.
Mario 64, it doesn't matter if it comes out now or in a year, people are going to buy it. That's the thing. It's not like it needs hype. Nintendo 64...
That's my point, though. They're trying to drive sales really fast by creating false scarcity, right? And then they're going to take it down. And then they'll bring it back at some point in some way, but they're going to take it down for whatever reason, so you can't buy it anymore, and you're like, what? You missed out. You learned your lesson. Next time we release a limited edition, limited release digital product, you better do what we say and buy it.
It's like when Laymen does merch. Limited time, guys. I think Thick Boy's been up for like
Thick Boy has been up forever.
2 years straight now. Limited time though, okay? It's coming down next week, guys. But look, it's just ridiculous because I think it's dumb. But it's just a little bit of a bad taste. Everyone's like, what? Why is this even a thing? And Twitter, of course, is all like, you know, you've ruined the surprise by even putting this stupid 6-month release thing on it.
If it's a physical release, sure. Like, you know, if it's a physical release and you're only making a limited run of it, we get it. That's fine. That makes total sense.
But that's
how production works, you know?
Yeah.
There's a factory that prints the thing and puts it in the box and sends it out to the thing, and that's how it works, right? But if it's a digital thing and you're creating false scarcity for digital products, it'd be like if Christopher Nolan's like, I'm releasing my movie Tenet on DVD or Blu-ray, but it's only going to be available for 1 month. After that, fuck you.
Yeah, gone forever.
Like, what? Why? How is that a thing that happens? Do you know what I mean? Ridiculous. Totally ridiculous.
But look, I mean, I just... there's nothing really more to say about this, because it's like, you know, it's going to be, I'm sure, a decent price. It's going to be $60 US. Probably it's going to be like $80 Australian or whatever. Everyone's going to buy it within the 6 months anyway. Again, so you're right in saying it is creating false scarcity, fine. But people are going to buy that they wanted this anyway within that 6-month window. And what's even more ridiculous is, you're also right, they're also going to do some other release of this.
Yeah, sure.
The only thing I can possibly see is, are they looking to... Okay, there's rumors of a new Switch next year. All right, I don't know if you've seen them.
Yeah.
Is this going to maybe coincide with the new Switch? Maybe it comes out in March, so like, it's gone on that one, but it's on the new Switch now. That makes sense.
Comes pre-installed with a version of a game you can't buy anywhere else. You can only buy this game on the new Switch.
That's IQ 200. That's 200
That
IQ
is
right
really scum. That's up there with your... You've paid us enough, so now we can talk about the Avengers. That's right up there with that, Sam.
If you guys want to know what we thought of Cyberpunk 2077, you pay up. I know.
Sam, practicing for his EA chairmanship, right? Just getting limbered up for that one.
You know, we love you. But anyway.
Guys, there's some other news here. Call of Duty. Okay, you might have seen. We actually don't. This actually just broke as we were getting started today, so I don't have anything up here yet. But I can tell you that Call of Duty's gameplay for the next Call of Duty, the Cold War, has leaked. We couldn't show it to you anyway because we'd probably just get a copyright strike.
Yeah.
Our channel will get yeeted off the internet for a while, which sucks. But yes, TLDR, you can go and search for Call of Duty Cold War gameplay. I haven't even seen it yet. I just saw like a thumbnail or whatever. Okay, so there's that. There are shenanigans in relation to the upgrade of this game, though. So if you want to buy it on current gen and then you want to upgrade to next gen without paying Activision their dollary dues, you're fresh out of luck, buddy. What they've said is that there are going to be 3 different versions of this game. There's the standard pleb version for shitty people who just don't have any money.
Yeah.
Pathetic, says Activision. Pathetic. Okay?
All the basic cosmetics. God, you loser.
The poverty pack. That's what you get, okay? The poverty pack.
The red reticle, Correct.
Correct.
That crap.
If you're a real COD fan, okay, what you buy is the digital deluxe or the ultimate edition. Because what they get you is the free upgrades to the next gen, right? Where if you give Activision extra money, they will then allow you to play the same game on the next gen.
I think,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Now, I mean, this is Activision being Activision, but like, we've seen a trend. We've spoken about this before. Of course, a lot of games, smart delivery is the term now being used more and more.
Sure.
Xbox kind of led the charge with that. Every game, first party at least, on current gen is going to be on next gen. I wonder if that's even going to be a thing now with Halo, because it's looking on murky ground, everybody. I'm not sure.
We didn't even actually. I actually didn't put that Halo news in, but there is something about that. Anyway, go on.
Okay, cool. So look, and then also another. Who else did that now? I forgot now. Capcom did it.
What?
Smart delivery. There's another one Ubisoft. Ubisoft did it. That's right. They also promise a smart delivery-esque with cross-gen.
Sure.
Now, it's a bit of a trend. That's where I'm going with that. So, yet again, we're seeing another company just try and screw you out of money. Like, it's already becoming more of a trend in the industry that it's going to be cross-gen in terms of you buy a game. You've already bought the game. Just let me play it on the new console.
I mean, the worst example is something like Control, where recently they have come out, and 505 Games have said that they had this horrendous blog post where they're like, oh, we tried to think of a way to make it so that we could give you the free upgrade to next gen, but no matter what we did, someone would be disappointed, so we decided to give it to no one at all. I was like, all right. So basically, if you have Control on current gen, you need to buy the Ultimate Edition for next gen to be able to get next gen performance. A real shame, given the fact that Control runs awfully on current gen consoles.
They really needed to give that to like make up for that.
I agree, and also the fact is, like, Control is a fundamentally different game with ray tracing enabled. Like, it is the first true ray trace enabled game, and to then have to pay for that performance increase on a next gen, like, that really sucks. Look, it's obviously what you expected from Activision. That's just how they roll. I don't know, man. I think a lot of people are going to just do this anyway. They're like, whatever, it's an extra $20. They want to play on day one and start the grind and whatever. Or the COD people, just so much hype for it.
The COD
and
people.
Then it's true, though. Like, there's people that buy COD and FIFA and Madden, and that's it. You know what I mean?
There's filthy casuals, everyone.
That's right. Okay. Unlike Sam. Unlike the real hardcore gamers like Sam.
Smash is not a casual game.
So this is going to happen anyway. It is disappointing to see. But I'll tell you what's not disappointing.
Oh, okay. Here comes the segue.
Our top story for today, Sam. Bucking the trend of publishers screwing us out of this stuff is we have CD Projekt Red to the rescue, as usual. They have announced just last night, while I was compiling this episode, thinking, what's going to be our lead story? They put out, I got a press release, actually, from CD Projekt Red directly,
a press release,
being like, hey, what's up? We're going to do a free upgrade to The Witcher for next gen. There you go. That's the story.
I mean, well, this is the disappointing story. You ready for this?
Go on.
Okay. Ready? I own this on Switch. I'm not getting my upgrade.
Yeah, where's your next gen upgrade for Switch? That's right.
It says here, available for everyone that currently has a PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. So, I'm very upset. I've got the Switch, but look, CD Projekt Red actually was they gifted me my Switch product.
Sure.
My Switch Witcher 3. So. Sure. I can't really ask more than that from them, but you know, it is good to see that yet again leading the charge, being good dudes. And that's also something that we should mention, of course. They also came out and said Cyberpunk is going to be smart delivery.
Sure, you get a free upgrade for that as well.
Yeah,
But the thing is, this is not just like, hey, we're going to make it so you can play this game on next gen. They're actually upgrading The Witcher, okay? So they are going to have ray tracing enabled for The Witcher. That's a thing.
Which is pretty cool.
And you are going to be able to get this on PC and on Xbox and on PS4. And you're going to be able to get this for free if you already own it on any of those. Like, that's madness. You know, like let's literally them going back and doing additional work, right? Them like doing things that cost man hours, person hours, okay? And then they're going to be like, you know what? We got it. We'll cover the bill. Here's that thing for free. That's crazy. Do you know what I mean? Like that's CD Projekt Red good right there.
I think it is pretty good. I think you're right, and like it's not just like, hey guys, we're just gonna slap it onto another port. Like, it's not just a port. Like they've gone from the ground up in some capacities to make this really pop.
I'm just so interested to see what this would be like with ray trace enabled. Like ray tracing, when it actually is implemented properly, is transformative. You know, like as I said with Control. And even because we were some of the few people in the world to see Cyberpunk with ray tracing enabled.
That's what I was going to
say. Because a lot of the other people who did the preview were playing on a stream build, right, through something called like Parsec, which is a stream platform. And that build they were playing on didn't have ray tracing enabled. We were playing on local hardware, and we had ray trace enabled. And it was incredible to see it in action.
That was the first time I played a ray tracing game.
You didn't play Control?
No, but I didn't have ray tracing.
Really?
Yeah, we reviewed Control, but I didn't have ray tracing on.
What did you play it on? 1080?
Yeah, 1080.
Okay,
I don't have a 2080. I don't have a 2080. So that was the first time I actually was able to walk in a world and be like, whoa.
Yeah.
Things pop like
unbelievable.
I could not believe in some of those halls walking through the corporate section because we played, the corporate dude.
Yeah.
It was incredible. It was incredible. It does actually like completely change the experience. I've only just finished the Bloody Baron of Witcher, so I think they're cross-saving
I'm in
now.
the first 10 hours.
No, Bloody Baron isn't the first 10 hours, is it?
Pretty much.
Is it? Guys, you tell me. Comment section below. I think it's like 70 hours in, but whatever. But anyway, that's fun to see. But speaking of, I don't know what the next story is.
So actually, there's actually one story in relation to this, and that is, have you seen this game yet?
Ah, yes.
So it is
Pokemon Go. It's the Witcher Go.
The Witcher Go has been announced. Okay, so what this is, it is a Witcher monster hunting game. Where you're literally out in the world with the sort of like augmented reality thing, and you find monsters in the wild, and then you fight them, and you capture them or kill them. I guess you kill them. I suppose that's witches don't capture things; they kill things, and that's the game. Okay, it's coming out on mobile devices at some point soon. I guess we have to do a let's play of it somehow. Sam.
I mean,
I don't know
how
we're
do
going
you
to
do a
it.
let's play of that?
Well, you can record things on a phone. And then we'll just have to film each other walking around, and we'll do it. We'll make it happen, okay? If we can figure out a way to get the Mario Kart racing
which is also
remote control
that we
thing,
do.
which is something we should do, we can figure out a way to make this happen. So
that looks pretty cool. I wonder how that'll go. That may blow up. I mean who knows?
Maybe. I don't know. I don't think it has the same sort of broad appeal that the likes of what do you call it?
Pokemon Go.
Pokemon Go.
What do you mean? Like every Pokemon player loves Witcher. What are you talking about? Speaking of,
there's some super chat, Sam.
That's like the segment word now. Speaking of is the segment word.
We got Soldier Crusade says, "What's your opinion about Avengers PS4 game? Buy it? ? We covered that at the beginning of the episode. Check it out, my friend.
Buy it, rent, never touch."
Barlinator says, howdy chaps, love the content always. With the Cyberpunk thirst increasing by the day, will you be reviewing playing any of the Deus Ex games? I actually played through Deus Ex again last year, just on a whim, because I was like, I want to play it again. Sam has not played Deus Ex.
You don't know that. Maybe I have.
If there's one thing I know, it's that you have not played Deus Ex.
Maybe I see, guys. I'm just gonna, you guys figure out if I have.
Right.
Okay.
So no, I won't be going back and playing it. There's not much time between now and release, and there's plenty to review before then, like other stuff. So yeah. Byne became a member. Thank you very much, Byne. We appreciate you.
Appreciate you.
Royalawi Namaste. He says, "Love you guys from Poland. Thank you very much, my friend." Stop with the Russian accents from the Poles, okay?
The Poland.
Valena Vasetti says, Tony Hawk, Pro Skater, so good. Can't wait for BPM. Yes. BPM is sick. RTX pre-orders are up, says Porcupine Butter. Now, I don't know if that's true or not.
Notify me. It still says notify me.
If that's true, you can go and pre-order an RTX now. If it's not and they're trolling, well played, my friend. Good times. It's probably a good segue for us to talk about here. This is actually well set up. Porcupine butter. Go on, Sam.
Which one is this though? Are we talking? No, because there's a couple of things. Wait a second.
Which one is this?
That one. Okay. So speaking of, that one, right?
This is the announcement of the next show.
Okay.
This is
I was like, why are we on this if it's the main story? Okay.
Sure.
So speaking of that, everybody, there's been an announcement. Okay. Now the last RTXs, the 2060s to the 2080s, was I think released late 2018, but then really got into the flow of things 2019 and 2020. They've just come out with the latest version, the RTX 30 series. It's going to be the 3060, 3070, 3080, and the 3090, which plays, 400K. It's like ridiculous.
They're like 8K gaming. It's
I'm like,
come on, man.
there isn't
really?
an 8K gaming
That's
yet.
not a thing. Stop it. Just
It's not a
stop,
thing.
Okay.
I don't think it maybe will be a thing one day, but we can't see
they're trying
4K.
to sell 8K televisions, and you're like, come on.
We can't see more than 4K, let alone 8K for God's sakes.
The
But,
human eye cannot see more than 720p.
Exactly.
Okay? Impossible.
480p, okay?
Totally wasted.
when YouTube was created, we saw
right.
480p, and that's all we could ever see.
Sure.
So this is exciting times. Now, especially exciting for Australians. Okay. Now, where I'm going with that is, it's of course the Founders Edition. It's not going to be available
Sold in Australia.
Now, there are going to be other ones that, of course, you can
yeah.
buy, but they're not going to be the Founders Edition. So what exactly is the Founders Edition? Is that just like the one that doesn't have other people's branding on it?
Yes.
Okay. So that is, I knew that, just testing Ralph, of course. So that is not going to be in Australia. I personally don't really care if it just doesn't have some stupid Buy Avengers game on it or something, which we'll probably see. We'll probably see 3080s.
We're definitely going to see the official GPU of Avengers.
Yes.
Guaranteed to maintain, like a little asterisk down the bottom. Performance may vary significantly. Guaranteed to maintain at least 15 FPS. You know, so
like legitimate.
Yeah, legitimately.
We're going to see some sort of Avengers thing with this, and maybe like the middle of it, the RGB is just Tony Stark's like. His heart thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's disappointing.
It is.
We did see the previous one, Founders Edition in Australia, right? The 20
Yeah, we
series.
did.
So this is the first time that they've also cut Australia. Look, business is business. Maybe they're just not making the dough.
I think
because we have a billion population in Australia.
I think there's obviously huge supply chain challenges at the moment with COVID, and Australia's a small market. Like, as this sucks, like it really blows. But if that is the reason, supply chain stuff, like I get it. Like it really fucking sucks. I mean, it wouldn't have been that hard to partition off a few units. Do you know what I mean? Like, come on now. But at the same time, like, I actually, someone tweeted at me recently saying that sometimes similar things happen in other countries that we just don't hear about. We're just making noise here because we're noisy Australians. But, you know, I'm sure there's lots of other...
Australians.
That's right. I'm sure there's lots of other countries that are going to be in the same boat as this. Either way, Australia won't be getting Founders Edition. We can get all the other ones, like the third-party ones from Gigabyte and whatever else. But yeah, the other thing as well is that this has a 12-pin power connector, which is a bit of a problem for a lot of people, and requires like an adapter to get it down to 8-pin. The other ones that are coming out from third-party don't require the adapter. A lot of people think that's better. There's also the fact that most of the time, third-party stuff is better than the Founders stuff. Like, as in just performs better in terms of benchmarks. So most people prefer to buy the third-party stuff, even though like this looks really cool, and it does. Like it looks like a sick piece of tech that you want on your computer. A lot of people just buy third-party because historically you get better performance out of third-party than you do out of the Founders Edition. So
is that not just because the Founders Edition is the first patch, and as we go on, of course, there's more. There's better patches, there's better optimization.
No, I think it's... Look, I don't exactly know, to be honest, so I can't say. But all I know, from what I understand, it's like those graphics producers, the manufacturers, are willing to put in a whole bunch of extra stuff in them that kind of makes them perform better but doesn't look as cool. I think they're trying to make something that looks quite cool and is quite marketable here. Yeah. And so it sacrifices some of those extra things that don't look as nice on those other things, but they make it perform better. You know what I mean? So that's my understanding, though.
Sad times for Australia.
It is sad times for Australia, but look, I will say that the next gen prices for these cards is very good. Like a 3080 is essentially 1,100 Australian dollars, and that is more powerful than a 2080 Ti currently, at way less of the price, like way less. You know, this is a definite massive leap forward for, generations in terms of like graphic performance without being the same like commensurate price increase.
Yeah.
This is a legitimate surprise to a lot of people,
I think it like ditched the Apple thing because like when they started coming out with the 2080s and shit, it like got pretty astronomical in terms of pricing, and I was like, whoa, okay, that's gonna like.
They definitely took the piss, I think, last generation.
100%.
Yeah.
This makes it look like, okay, this is a much more achievable. This is back in line with a lot of people, and maybe we'll see, because a lot of people are able to like get beefier hardware, maybe the lowest settings on games will now start slowly creeping up because it
always happens.
No, you know what I mean? Like, because now it's a lot more accessible to get the next real bump of power. I wonder if we're going to see more stronger games coming out because now they know that there's going to be a more accessible way to play those more powerful games.
Yep. Yeah, sure. I mean, look, I think there's a lot of reasons why this price is competitive. First of all, there's big Navi coming, like AMD's got their card, which will come out at some point, and is meant to be finally competing with top-end NVIDIA cards. So that's one thing. I think the major thing, though, is next-gen, like as in consoles, right? They're gonna these cards are essentially competing with next-gen consoles. Some people will say, should I buy a PS5 or should I upgrade my PC? So I think they're trying to be competitive from that perspective as well. I think it's also worth noting that they've done a lot of other stuff within this announcement around things like NVIDIA Broadcast, which is basically this like broadcasting suite that does a whole bunch of stuff, including that like noise reduction thing where, have you heard this yet? Where like if you're talking and you've got like a mechanical keyboard and you're smashing this keyboard, you can't hear the keyboard because it's just like the AI blocks it out somehow, you know what I mean? There's also this like latency thing that they've got in there as well, which is meant to improve latency on really high refresh rate monitors.
Wow.
There's stuff, so NVIDIA are really making a big play this gen, pushing out hardware and software that I think is really good and really well priced. It just sucks that we can't get the Founders Edition as well.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think you're right in terms of the next gen. Maybe because a lot of people are going to be weighing up the price and going, well, I can get next gen for $600, or I have to get one piece of a PC for the same price.
Well,
do you know what I mean? Like
more, really. I mean, I think
more. You're right.
I think
more.
that's like it's $699 for the 3080s. Don't quote me on that because I only think in Australian prices.
I think it's it's in the $700 mark.
It's like gonna be roughly the same price or maybe more than a console. You know what I mean? So yeah, it is a difficult decision for people to make. But yeah, that's that. So, but even then, there's like, I'm just seeing here, there's like, NVIDIA announces $499 RTX 3070 that outpaces the RTX 2080 Ti at $1,200. Those are US prices. That's nuts, man. That's a huge, massive increase for people. A lot of people sat out this gen as well. Like, they just like, oh.
I did.
Yeah, you've got a 1080
I've got a 1080
Ti. And a lot of people are like, cool, I'm just going to wait for next gen. And I think those people are being vindicated because it does feel like this last gen was like, hey, we've got ray tracing, but it doesn't really work yet because the cards weren't strong enough to support it. Now it's like, okay, cool, ray tracing is a thing. We can make it work with DLSS, which is that like super sampling thing.
And the new cooling system and shit they've got in there now.
All that, and now like ray tracing is real and you can do it at a reasonable frame rate, at a decent resolution, and you can get it at a reasonable price. So this is, I think, an important generation for NVIDIA from that perspective. So... yeah, man. That's all the tech talk. We should open a tech channel, Sam.
I think we should
grow our hair. We should grow our hair really long and talk about tech, like Tech Jesus. What's his name?
No, Linus. We did Linus.
Linus as well. He's got the short haircut. Maybe we should combine.
One
one of them has short hair, and one of them has really long hair. We combine Linus and Tech Jesus, and boom, we win.
Any of them overweight though, because I think we can cover that market.
I'm sure if we want to find overweight tech reviewers, we won't struggle to find that. Okay?
That's very true.
I'm sure one or two quick Google searches and we will find it. Guys, well, we've got some more stuff here. We've got Francois back says, COD and sports gamers are the worst. There you go, my friend. Stefan is here. He says, hey, I had payday on Friday, so here's a pineapple pizza for Sam and some thoughts and prayers for Ralph. We thank you, friend.
I don't know what Ron dollars are. Ronald McDonald dollars. Thank you.
I don't know what they are. William Desharman, he's here. I think I'd seen that name before. Welcome back if so. Hey guys, I hope you're doing well. In celebration of the new Avengers game, what is your favorite Marvel Cinematic Universe film? Infinity War for the win. Ooh, that's a good question.
It's a Marvel. Now I think
Thor: The Dark World. I think that was the pinnacle of the Marvel universe.
Okay, honestly, what is your favorite film?
It honestly sounds cliche, but Endgame is actually my favorite, just because it was.
I'd probably say that
it was such a perfect like coming together of everything.
It's the culmination of like the skills of figuring like 20 years of doing all these movies that were like that they were masters at it by then, and they really did probably. I would say also Spider-Man 1 because that was really like, oh my god, that was the first
That
Marvel.
wasn't MCU though.
Oh, that wasn't it?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
Sony, but you know what
I also
mean.
loved the original
You know
X-Men
what I mean.
movie. That was great.
Logan was really good.
Logan was sick.
Logan was
Now we're
actually
just now we're talking about favorite superhero films. You know, Suicide Squad. I really feel like that was top shelf. The Justice League.
Yeah.
I really believe the Snyder Cut will save that movie. Anyway, moving right along.
Next.
We've got Porcupine Butter is back. He says, "Gotcha. May the pre-order gods be in our favor." Thank you, friend. Has anybody seen Sean? I lost him in the mail. Says Gilbert.
Mall. I saw him in the mall.
Lost him in the mall. Oh, Sean, is that like, okay? Press F. You'll find him. Just press X. Spam
I don't know
X
what
to
that
Sean, and
means.
like it's never mind. it's a.
Well, thank you very much for your
heavy
donation.
rain thing. Mario Assassin's £10. Hey guys, glad to see you live once again. I hope you're both keeping well. Are you thinking of doing a review for the Outer Worlds DLC coming out September 9th? Yes.
We are doing a Let's Play of that, right?
No.
Outer Worlds.
You want to do a Let's Play of Outer Worlds DLC?
Yeah, when we talked about doing that.
We did.
Yeah.
We did not talk about
It's
that.
in the production schedule. Yep. I'm pretty sure.
Just because I listed as a game that's coming out doesn't mean we're doing it. We do it, yeah.
See, this is what happens on Laymen Live, guys.
Yeah, you haven't finished the Outer Worlds.
Yeah, but like, I can do that, you know.
I
can do that.
I am doing a review for it. It will be out on the embargo. That's what I'll
So,
say
guys,
on that.
we're doing a DLC. Let's play.
Dave Ellis says, very timely, Sam, you suck at gaming, lol. Joke. I'm really enjoying your new
Thank you,
format.
man.
Stay with it. Loves you both. Thank you very much, friend. We appreciate it.
Maybe
that
we'll
a lot.
do a poll. How many people on Twitter are enjoying our new format? We're enjoying our new format.
Loving it. Guys, here's a story that is not what we were expecting, and that is that, did you know Gotham Knights, speaking of DC,
There we go. Speaking of, yeah, okay, you got
it's
the
not
speaking
a
of.
live service game and can be played offline. Which is surprising.
Interesting because it looked like 4 heroes. There's going to be a lot of playing with your friends and shit like that. I thought, okay, we're seeing Avengers 2.0 here. Pretty cool to see that. If you go down, also they said more on the topic, or is that all we're covering today? I remember I read this morning. There's something else here that was important that they said.
This is very much not designed as a game as a service, says producer Marty or Fleur Marty.
Oh, that's right. Open world. It's going to be an open world game with no level gating, which is kind of cool. So you can just fly around like you did with Spider-Man. I hate those games that you can't go to areas until just because they want to make you just sit in an area for a while.
An invisible wall in Manhattan that just stops you from going where you
Or
want
like
to go.
GTA. Or sorry, there's like cars blocking the bridge and shit like that.
Yeah,
but
that's right.
that looked
I like that though.
Yeah, I didn't
that
mind
part I
actually.
liked.
That was exciting. That was exciting. You got
Look, the cars are gone now.
Yeah, I can go over.
Because I can't swim, so you know.
I can go over this imaginary world and see other streets.
But it is interesting. This is them really coming out very loud and proud, saying it's not allowed in live service. I think obviously it's in response to the Avengers. I think has really poisoned the well around like a lot of these, this game specifically, because a lot of people were like, "Hey, I was really interested in the Avengers until I learned it was a live service game." Fair enough.
I think it's live service in general.
Sure, but I think this one in particular really suffered from that
because it's so close to the superhero genre.
Because it was like, oh man, it's going to be the same, isn't it? Especially because they also saw like damage numbers. People were like, oh, fake RPG bullshit in this game. Why is that a thing? I don't think that's anything to be worried about yet. And it's about how you implement the RPG. Like most superhero games have some sort of RPG thing going on. It's all about whether or not it works, and I don't think it works in Avengers at all. It could work in this if it's implemented correctly. But, look, they're being really clear that this is going to have no live service features. It says there's an ability tree, which is different for each of the characters, and then there's gear you can craft, and so choices that you're going to make, but that does not mean it's a game as a service. And you can play it offline as well. So how about them apples?
How about that? Who's that character, the one with the bat thing on her? That's not Batgirl. Who is that?
Who else would it be?
Is that Batgirl?
I don't know. I guess so.
I mean, guys, in the comment section, let us know.
Batgirl. It's Batgirl, guys.
Batgirl.
It's definitely Batgirl. So the other thing, as well, this is similar to Outriders. Remember how Outriders was revealed? That shooting game, third-person shooting game. Come on, you got to remember Outriders.
I mean, we've watched so many trailers.
It looks like the ones that looks like, oh, that's Destiny. Oh, it looks so Destiny, and it's not.
Yes.
It's not. And then we're like, okay, Outriders has got to be a live service microtransaction thingo. And they're like, it's not a live service, and it has no microtransactions. And we're like,
We watched the reveal of that. There was quite actually a sizable trailer to that.
Yeah,
and it looked really dull. I remember that now.
Yes. By the way, the other thing we didn't mention actually when we were talking about the Avengers is that in terms of its reviews, it's getting like mixed reviews. You know,
high 80s is the best. 89 is the best, and then it's all.
I've seen some 9 out. I saw a 9 out of 10 from somewhere, and I'm like, what?
A 0 that can't be. No, okay. So 40 looks to be the lowest publication.
That's Video Game Chronicle. They said Marvel's Avengers reasonably entertaining campaign, but it's highly derivative. If anything, it has been done better elsewhere. I definitely agree with that. And the longer it goes on, the more it's hampered by desperate repetitive missions and mindless upgrade structure. I also agree with that. At the top end, Marvel's Avengers is a very ambitious game with spectacular single-player game and a multiplayer designed as an MMO. Not really sure that's the right phrase. With an enjoyable combat system and the promise of lots of content and new heroes incoming, some missions can get repetitive. Yes, they can. So, I mean, look, as I said, it is mixed. It is something we're going to be doing a review this week. It's something to pay attention to because, there's a chance that you might like this game. There's a chance you'll absolutely hate it. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll come back to that.
I hope that. Look, we met the devs at PAX. Like, they were so passionate and whatever. Like, I wonder
devs
how
are very different to the.
That's what I mean. Upper
people.
Management, money people, exactly, very different to the devs. These guys were really passionate, lovely people. Gave us a lot of time, and we played the game, and so we hope that they're taking this well. But there's some changes that need to be made.
Rose's Thorhid Khan says, Roses are red, violets are blue. I'm rubbish at rhyming, but I hope this will do. Ooh, nice. Ralph, hair tutorial when?
It's called the Karen Do.
That's right. You have to make sure the sides are short, and then that's it.
And if you haven't spoken to a manager in 24 hours, are you a Karen?
I don't know.
Are you really?
That's right.
That's a
it says, Susanio asks, Ralph, do you write a script and then read it when recording for your reviews, or do you improvise? About 80% of the time, I'll write a script.
It's improviser, bro. That's what I think of the game, yo.
I think like BPM, for example, I just freestyled it.
Oh, did you? That's a good game to freestyle to.
Yeah, because you're like,
Because it's a music game, It's all about
anyway,
all about the freestyle.
Roy Lowy Naman, strict with a really big name. Sorry, he says, in short, my nickname is Roy. Thank you, Roy. We appreciate you. Avengers works fine. GCX 970, 25 FPS on medium. Good game, but
Oh, really?
Good game, but bad gameplay. You said 25 FPS. Bad gameplay, but somehow a good game. I don't understand, Roy. Roy, I'm not with you on this one, my friend.
I don't know, man.
We love you, but not with you on that.
Come on, Roy.
Loser Jerkface says, moved from SoCal to the Midwest of the US, and the few upsides this is catching the Laymen boys live. We appreciate you. Thank you for being here, friend.
Thank you.
Guys, in terms of when you can expect next-gen consoles to release, there has been some word on that.
Oh, this is all fluff. This is all fluff. I read this. This is all speculation.
I mean, yeah, it does. But it's like it's been pretty widely reported, and it's...
Oh no, of course. I mean, sure. I know that this is out. This is my keys jumping around. Sorry. It's been out now, and everyone's talking about it. Fine. Everyone's talking about it.
A lot of people.
A lot of people. Okay. But it's all. I think it's all hindering on. It's all attached to the one idea of their marketing budget. Dropping around the 13th of November. There's about a week planned of a bunch of things.
They're literally dropping their new console on Friday the 13th.
I mean, are they though? Or they just starting the marketing there? This is the thing. No. There's a week of scheduled marketing events.
Sure.
Starting on the Friday the 13th.
Sure.
So it makes sense that it's either dropping on Friday or it's dropping a week after that Friday.
Sure.
Something like that. So it's going to be in November, and it seems to be in mid-November. So that's kind of where this whole article's going.
The article also says that, according to their sources, Xbox will go first. So you can expect the Xbox Series X, to launch and probably the first week of November. And then the PS5 to launch on the 13th to the 20th kind of thing. So
still sitting there, both with their guns their prices holstered,
really.
Waiting.
You walk up to the counter and be like, "How much is it?" And the retailer will just look at you like,
yeah,
it just keeps staring at you like, "How much is it? Tell me!" And the retailer will just stare back.
And they're just waiting for the other one to tell the price.
Yes, they are.
It's her price. Like, just tell us what the price is. There was a picture I saw on Twitter the other day showing the previous generations of when the prices were announced.
Sure.
PS1 was like 3 months out. PS2, PS3 were like 4 and 5 months. So it's like usually now about between 4 and 5 months.
Yeah.
We're looking at 2 months right now. This is like, it's here. You can't be like, pre-order it, but we won't tell you how much it is. You pre-order it, but
You actually can't pre-order it properly.
you can just put your name. You can put it aside for you.
In fact, what they've got here, which I'll show you, is that Sony themselves are taking pre-orders and they're going to send it to you direct. So they're in this instance, if in select markets, so mainly the US, they're cutting out the middleman, and you are going to be able to buy a PlayStation directly from Sony. That's obviously going to piss off retailers who are already having a tough year. Like
100%.
It's already tough for games retailers. I mean, I don't love GameStop at all. In fact, I think they suck. But regardless, there's lots of other stores as well, lots of other retailers besides GameStop, and everyone would be hurting by the decision for Sony to sell direct to consumers. You can go on Sony's site right now and pre-register your interest for a PlayStation 5. When they make price announcements, you'll get a notification allowing you to purchase it, pre-order it directly from Sony. It'll be guaranteed stock then. A lot of these issues as well, and why this is attractive, so many times people will pre-order a console and they'll be like, done.
I've got it.
And then they'll get an email from like Walmart being like, sorry, due to stock shortages, your unit will not be provided on day one. Please look forward to it released in 2022. You know what I mean? So this is really attractive for that reason, because you can
But
lock it in.
Best Buy and all these companies, which is the one that like pretty much is going under? Best Buy, right? Or was it GameSpot?
Yeah, GameStop.
GameStop, that's the one.
Best Buy is like JB, but GameStop is like indie games.
GameStop is like on death's doorstep.
Yeah, they need this, baby.
They absolutely need this, and if you look back at the figures, they always do really well at console releases because there's so much money soaked up.
For sure.
And then of course they can live off that, I guess you can say, for a few years, you know.
Yep.
For them to have for us to have other avenues now to purchase these consoles, man, that's going to hurt badly.
Sure.
I mean, look, they might lose upwards of 20% of that revenue, if not more, because if I know that I may get something from GameStop, but I'm probably going to get my PlayStation 5 more from Sony.com. I'm going to go to Sony. I mean, you know, anyway.
Yeah. Connor Sargent says, saving up for the RTX 3090, £20. That's pounds? That's euros. Thank you, friend. But have a little to spare. NVIDIA really should name it the Thick Boy. Have you seen that photo of the 3090? The 3090 is taller than the Xbox Series X.
What?
Yep. I know, right? It's that big. Like, crazy. It's huge. Anyway, there you go. You can expect that.
It's very big. I still can't believe how big the PS5 is.
Oh, it's massive.
Like, it's a joke how big that goddamn thing is. It has a 2090 in a 3090 in it.
Yeah.
It's mostly 3090.
Yeah.
Speaking of things that are really big, finishing times for Last of Us 2. Now, I'm surprised at this, actually.
I'm very surprised at this, to be honest.
This beat a lot of games. Now, Last of Us Part 2. Now, yeah, a lot of people didn't love it. A lot of people loved it, right? This is actually ranked in at the highest completion rate in PS4 Sony's history. There's a graph if you go a little bit down here. The closest contender was Final Fantasy VII Remake. God of War was only 51%. Now, the median is actually around 50%. So God of War is just scraping above that. And the lowest is Red Dead, 28%. That is
Death Stranding,
29%.
I can't believe only 29% of people finished Death Stranding. That's because Days Gone. I can't believe more people finished Days Gone than they finished Death Stranding. Days Gone goes forever. It has
I didn't actually end up
Days Gone
finishing that
feels like
entire game.
it finishes. It's like Lord of the Rings, right? Where it finishes like 4 times and then it just like fades to black. And then it comes back up. And you're like, what? How is there more of this? You know?
Right. Well, Red Dead Redemption was like 70-hour campaign or something. Like, I ended up listening. I played about 20-25 hours of the game, and then I ended up just watching it as a TV show on YouTube. One of the best shows I've ever watched because the writing was so fantastic. But so many people wouldn't saddle up for a 70-hour campaign. So I can see why it'd be 28%. What was the percentage again?
58% of people who have finished Last of Us 2, making it one of the most completed games on PS4.
It's huge.
That's pretty crazy. Congrats, I guess. I feel like if you were in it, you kind of were like, you had to see it through. It's one of those sorts of things because it's all about that payoff. You know, because it's so story driven. You're like, well, I got to see where this goes. I got to keep going. You know.
It looks like your old school Skill Up logo.
Yeah, it does actually. On Geek. So anyway, there's
Ralph.
that. And nice, bro. And look, our final story of the day, as we finish right on time, which is fantastic, actually,
cool.
is that they have selected a replacement for Mick Gordon on the Doom campaign DLC. Andrew Holschult He says, unbelievably happy to announce that I'm indeed working on Doom Eternal, the Ancient Gods DLC music with David Levy Music. Buckle up.
I looked him up. He did some things for Quake. He did something also that was relatively big. So he's done 2 or 3 titles within the gaming space.
There you go.
That's where I'm going with that. He's done 2 or 3 things within the gaming space already. That's pretty fetch. There he is. Yep. If you go down,
these are his works here. We've got. He did actually work on. Oh, no, he didn't actually. Sorry. Oh, Medieval, Quake Champions. Brutal Doom. That's cool.
Brutal Doom.
That's kind of cool for this guy. Like, having that kind of career. He worked on an unofficial mod add-on.
That's pretty cool.
And then worked his way to Quake Champions.
Oh, Rise of Triad. That was the one I was talking about. That was his first major thing that got him into the industry.
Right. And now he's headlining Doom Eternal. I mean, that's...
And Duke Nukem 3D. That's pretty cool.
Reloaded, yeah. But that's like one of the major games ever when it comes to soundtrack, and to be able to be put at the helm of that is obviously huge.
Yeah.
So sad what happened to Mick Gordon. If you're unfamiliar,
I do feel bad for him because I just feel like he might have just had a lot of shit going on.
Personal life stuff, mate. Because the story with Mick Gordon obviously was that he had to deliver a mix of the soundtrack for Doom Eternal for the OST. He really fucked over Bethesda on that, and just and id Software messed them around, missed deadlines, overpromised, didn't deliver.
He promised. He ended up promising 25 or 40 tracks in total.
Something like that.
The original amount was only 12 to 15 tracks.
Yeah.
Because he was trying to compensate for him being late. It got so messy.
Sure.
It just looked like it was a really messy thing.
It just felt like, and then he didn't deliver, and then it eventually got handed over to other people. He kind of threw some people under the bus in his commentary because he wasn't taking responsibility. He's like, oh, that's not how I would have done that. It's like, well, you had your chance, mate. And so then the id Software had to put out a statement being like, we want to clear up the record on how this went down, exposed all the dirty laundry, fair enough, because they were getting all the hate. And then Mick Gordon since then has been silent. Really sad. It just feels like one of those situations where you're at university and you have to get an assignment done and you don't, and you're like, fuck, man, I really fucked up.
Yeah, but
I've been in that situation.
Game.
Of course. I mean, but what I'm saying
I
is
hear you,
it just feels sad. It just feels like, oh man, you made
such
so
a good
wrong...
opportunity.
Yeah.
And I hear you. And he's tarnished that a little bit. I do think he'll come back.
No, I think
in
he will.
Flying colours in a year's time with another game or another some sort of thing that
we'll get him to work on the Laymen soundtrack. Let's get an OST for
I'd love to see that.
He's Australian, so he basically owes us. We're all mates here.
I would like to see that.
That'd be good. So guys, that was Laymen Live for the week.
Thank you. Thank you very much for all the donations.
It was really good to see everyone back here. So this week we have the Avengers review, which we've kind of already given to you, but we'll give it to you again. We have BPM, which is fantastic. We have
Tony Bjork.
Tony Hawk.
I'm just saying Bjorn. Tony Bjork, okay.
Tony Hawk, and probably some other stuff as well. There's also Kingdoms of Amalur, but I don't know if that's going to be a good Let's Play game, but we'll see about that one. And then there's also Laymen Live next week, and it just keeps going, man.
It keeps going. Any more live streaming stuff? Like anything's any events?
Actually, yes. There's actually a Ubisoft Forward event on September 11th at 5 a.m.
Oh, that's not the date to pick, but anyway, sure.
Yeah. So nice finish, Sam.
That's a weird date to
anyway,
pick.
They are going to be doing that. It's 5 a.m. I think we probably will do it. This guy's name is Snuff Pornography.
With a W.
He says, Layman, haven't had the pleasure of catching you live in a while. Miss your takes on the news, but respect the decision. Just don't take away my weekly dump. We won't. The dump will always be here, my friends. You will see. We want to thank you all for being so awesome, and we love you very much. And we'll see you next time.
Laymen out, everybody. Let me just, daydreaming for a second.